So we're about to see an interesting political experiment play out in real time. It might be interesting to see if we can, create some hypotheses around this experiment. See, for the last 10 years, at least, political analysts have been absolutely baffled by the Orange Don's ability to weather an endless parade of scandals and tell lie after lie after lie over and over again, subject to fact-checking, and still never lose an iota of support among his MAGA base. I mean, it's baffling because he's not even a good liar. He is a blatantly transparent con man. He's like a bad magician with cards hanging out of his sleeves. We can see through the act. And yet, he tells his lies, and the MAGA faithful applaud and pretend that his performance is flawless. What's going on? Well, for the last couple of years, my hypothesis has been that MAGA isn't stupid. They know he's lying. They see the flaws in his performance. They're clear to everybody. But they think they're in on the grift. They think they're part of the performance. So they're going to pretend that the performance is flawless. They think they're in on the grift. And many of them feel that the grift is some higher calling, that they are engaged in a battle with the deep state and the liberal establishment and an evil cabal that's running the world. And when you're fighting a war against evil, all the rules are on the table, and everything's on the table. There are no rules because your opponent is evil. Well, others just think they like the opportunity to just own the libs. But there is this corner of the MAGA movement that thinks that they are involved in some kind of a transcendent movement to bring down the evil deep state that's pulling the strings of the world. And part and parcel of that was the release of the Epstein files. The MAGA base mouths watered at the prospect that the Epstein files are now going to be released, and then all of those hypocritical liberal power brokers are going to be exposed as the deviants that they are. And now they know. The files aren't going to be released. There may not even be really files in the way that they think that there's these secret files. It's not going to happen. It was a deception. So, is this deception qualitatively different from the myriad other deceptions that the Orange Don has perpetuated on the American people since he took the political stage? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but it seems that way. I mean, the Epstein Deception was targeted at MAGA, at the heart of MAGA. He wasn't. This isn't a lie about immigrants or gay people or liberals or whatever. This particular deception was targeted at the heart of MAGA. It was red meat for the MAGA commentariat to chew on. And now it turns out it was empty calories. And a lot of your top level folks in the MAGA base are disappointed. They feel deceived. And they were. They're right to feel deceived. Will that matter? So hypothesis one is the Epstein Deception is a qualitatively different kind of deception that will finally cause cracks in the facade of the MAGA movement. And we could test that by looking at the level of support the Orange Don has among the MAGA base. Does he start hemorrhaging support from this point on? Hypothesis 2 is that the Epstein Deception is just another in a long line of deceptions that the MAGA base has just been socialized to applaud and turn their backs on. In which case, the evidence will be no loss of support for the Orange Don. So I don't have high hopes in this. I'm leaning toward hypothesis 2 myself. But it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Already we're starting to see the standard PowerPoint lies about the Clintons and the Obamas and and everybody knows it's a lie. Even the MAGA base knows it's a lie. So will they applaud this and say, oh, well, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. We'll continue to play along so long as we're allowed on the stage. Or will they finally realize that it's not worth playing along with this flawed performance because you're just making fools out of yourselves and bringing down the country with you? We'll see.